Assalamu alaikum, which simply means peace be unto you. I am Sister Victoria X, also known as Black Honesty. Welcome to Let's Talk About It with Black Honesty. Today, our special guest is none other than Sister Hecava Mecca. So I'm going to go ahead and allow y'all to look at the introductory video, and we're going to get the show started. Welcome to Let's Talk About It with Black Honesty. Today we have Sister Hecava Mecca on with us, and the subject today is empowerment through music. Dear sister, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
It's such a pleasure to have you here on the show. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Oh, I am good by the grace of Almighty God Allah. It's certainly a pleasure again. Sister Hecava Mecca. Now, how did you get this particular name, beloved?
Hecava is actually a nickname given to me by my parents. They gave it to me when I was a baby. So, yeah.
Yes. Well, you're definitely a beautiful sister and a talented artist. And we're going to get right on into the meat of things here. Now, today's subject matter is empowerment through music. And there's so many different female artists out there who are really not setting a good example. And then when you look at sisters like yourself, Sister Neelam, Sister Akila Nahada, like, and then some of the ones from the older school, like Sister Lauren Hill, y'all are definitely changing the game and making it more positive, being more of a positive influence. How are you empowered by music? Being a hip hop artist, how is it empowering to you?
How is music empowering to me?
Yes.
I would say because it gives me a voice. Because outside of music, I'm very soft spoken and I'm very to myself and I'm very just reserved. And I feel like I better put my words together when I'm writing as opposed to when I'm talking. And it gives me power to actually have something to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Yes. Yeah, and I can bear witness to what you're saying, beloved. As an artist myself, I go by the name, of course, Black Honesty, and just having a voice to be able to speak for the voiceless, to be able to share what it is that we're taught, why we dress the way we do, because a lot of times people see us and they want to know who we are, and
Right.
it gives us a way of expression, outside of what the norm of what they see out there, because we have the Sexy Reds and the Nicki Minaj's, and they're doing a lot of talking, but they're not saying nothing. You know what I mean? And when they are speaking, they're bringing our community down. They're bringing down the woman, and we know 75% of the work is with the woman. So it's like we have a job to do, and I'm so glad that you're out there doing it, sister. I definitely commend you, and I'm grateful that you're out there, and I just give you all the props, sister. Keep pushing.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. Do you ever feel the need to even compete with any of the artists out there, as far as like, those who like Nicki Minaj, Sexy Red, do you ever feel the need to compete? What do you think about that?
There's really no competition. Um, it's simply because I am me and they
Come
are
on.
them, and they could never be me and I could never be them. And so there's no, in my mind, I don't even like to try to, I don't even like to think about that, because once you start getting into competition, then you start second guessing yourself. Because then now you starting to, you are weighing yourself against somebody else, and there's nobody to weigh yourself against but yourself. And it takes away originality. It takes away just who you are as an artist when you start to compete. Um, I'm not really a competitive artist. It's not really the sport of rap. It's not something I participate in.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't feel the need to compete because there's nothing to compete with.
That's right. Oh, beautiful, sister. I love the way you answered that, because what I see is the work that you're doing. You're raising the standard, for the music and the consciousness and awareness. And so with that, there is no competition. There's that clean glass and then there's the dirty glass, and you are the representation of a modest woman of God. So, just keep pushing forward. Um, your age. I know a lot of times in the Nation of Islam, because we have, it's hard to guess, the age. And I can tell you're very young, you're very mature, I'm sure, for your age. And I'm sure some of the listeners out there would like to know what is your age, sister?
I am 30. I just turned 30.
Oh, alhamdulillah.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
And you're so angelic. It's like
Oh,
your
praise it to
tone, your
Allah.
vibe is just so beautiful
Oh,
and so
I'm a
fresh and
reflection of
new.
you.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, sister.
Yes, ma'am.
Now coming up, what artist inspired you?
Um, Honestly, I was never into rap. I didn't start getting into rap until around my 12th grade year. And so there was never really, there's not an artist that was like, "Oh, I want to be like that," or "I want to do that."
Hmm.
It just kind of was like an inspiration type thing. It just happened and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of, I kind of like this. This is kind of cool." No, this is what happened. Okay, so ninth grade year. Okay, no, there was this group of girls, and they were in my band class, and they sang and they rapped, and I really liked their stuff. And I was like, I wonder if I can rap. And so I wrote a rap, and it was absolute trash. Um, I mean, it was so bad. I was making up words to try to make it rhyme. It was horrible. But ever since that rap, I have really progressed, I would say. Um, and so I mean, I guess I can kind of say that they kind of gave me inspiration. Um,
Alhamdulillah.
but not to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm going to be a rapper. It was just like, well, I kind of write poetry. Oh, it's kind of like the same thing. Let me see if I can rap. So outside of that, nobody has really been an inspiration.
Yes. Wow. So it's basically like it was in your soul, it's just like
Yes.
you were inspired, like Allah inspired you, the God within you,
Yes,
kind of
ma'am.
led you. When did you know that hip hop is what you wanted to do?
It started off me wanting to do opera
Mm.
because I was actually planning on going to school. I had got all my classes set and everything. I was going to school for performing arts. And I was getting into opera and like symphonic work because I play instruments, as you can see behind me. My main instrument is the clarinet. And so that was what I was planning on doing. And then I actually started off in a pop group, and I kind of rapped in there, but I mostly sang. And then I had became a part of an actual rap group, and I think that's kind of where I was like, okay, I think rap is what I want to do more. I think I'm more versed in rap than I am singing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it started. I was like 2013.
Oh wow. So you basically had to find your niche, So
Yeah.
you had to experience it to know, hey, this is what I want to do. And you're so gifted with it. And
Praise be to
you just do it so easily,
Allah.
with
Praise be
such
to Allah.
ease. Now, how does music serve as a form of inspiration, to women? How does your music serve as a form of inspiration to women?
By giving it a different model. Before I really got into music, well, when I first really started getting into music, I told myself, I don't want to be an entertainer. I want to be a role model. And so I think that's kind of where it began. And I just think the inspiration comes from something different, something that is outside of what the woman is portrayed to be or how she's being portrayed by other women.
Mm-hmm.
And she's more than that. We're more than that. And so just speaking with intelligence and actually having something to say, I think that that can bring inspiration to other women and letting them know outside of your body, you have much more to offer.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. And that's key, beloved, just knowing, because I hear the saying, we have to show more than, we got to show what's in our mind opposed
Mm.
to our behind. You know
Right.
what I mean? And in the, the music industry of the world, it's the other way around. It's like, show me how sexy you are. You don't really have to have, knowledge and wisdom. You got the look,
Mm.
that's what the enemy is pushing. So now here you are coming up with something to elevate the minds of the women, and that is powerful because this is how we grow and this is how nations are built. And so this is amazing what you're doing. Now, let me ask you,
To a lot.
can you share a personal experience where music has helped you overcome adversity and helped you to build confidence?
Well, firstly, dropping my first album, that definitely was a lot. I had been saying for like 6, 7 years, like, I'm going to drop an album, drop an album, drop an album. But it was the Minister's album that's changed
Mm.
the world that actually was the inspiration behind me even actually dropping music. It was him. But I would say when I was in high school or just in school in general, I say I was pretty sad. I was a pretty sad child. I don't know where it comes from. It's not like I had a horrible childhood or anything like that. It's just I've always had this cloud over me and I can't explain it. But I've been suicidal. Um, and music is really the only reason, and it was symphonic. So it wasn't
Mhm.
rapping or anything like that. It was playing my clarinet. It was therapeutic. It really means a lot to me. And so that has been an inspiration for me and it has helped to keep me here because it's like I had something to live for.
Mm. Wow, that's deep and very powerful. And I've seen where a lot of great artists, have had similar experiences. And I believe that that's a way that Almighty God allows you to minister to people who have gone through the same things because there's so much, as you speak of a black cloud, a dark cloud. I think for the most part, the whole world is in a black cloud because there's so much
Yes, ma'am.
gloom and so much. People are needing inspiration and they're needing hope. And of
Yes,
course, the
ma'am.
suicide rate is like really skyrocketing. And so
Yes.
we need people like yourself to be able to minister to people through your music, because you never know. Just it's been times I've listened to music and I was down and I'm like, wow, thank Allah for this music because
Yes.
it will lift me up. It's something that it vibes with our very being, the very essence. And when you put that word of Almighty God Allah, that word of inspiration, that word of hope in the music, it uplifts. So
Yes,
music is
ma'am.
ministry, and that's
Yes.
what you're doing. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being so transparent,
Praise
because even
be
with
to God.
what you just shared, I'm sure that somebody out there, can hear it and be healed by what you just shared. You sharing, being open and transparent.
Praise be to
Good
Allah.
for you. Yes, alhamdulillah. Um, how do you navigate the male dominant hip hop industry as a woman?
I don't even think about it. I mean, I know it exists and I know it kind of makes a difference, but it really doesn't, because I feel like I have such a masculine delivery that I'm able, I don't want to say compete because I don't compete, but I'm able to navigate. I'm able to be where the men are because I don't have to show my butt, because that's one of the ways that you navigate is by showing your body and being provocative. But I think another way that you navigate is having a masculine sense about yourself and having the confidence to do it. You have to have it in your voice. It's something about the vibe that you have to have when you're spinning, because they can sense when you don't feel it. They can sense when you not, you know, it's I hate to use the comparison, but you know how a dog can smell fear?
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
kind of like they can sense when you not really about it. They can sense when you not, so you have to have some wits about you when you doing it. But I do think that it is my masculine delivery that kind of helps me to navigate.
Hmm. And what I see is such a because you're so soft spoken. I see so much femininity there. However, I know that you have to have a level of aggression, and maybe that's what you're speaking on when you say
Yes,
masculine,
aggression.
in order
Yes,
to get out there and do it and not be
yes,
timid.
ma'am.
You know what I mean? Because okay,
Yes,
now I'm a female and I'm amongst all these males. So then you step back and but no, you're out there and you're pushing it and you're doing it with so much confidence and such ease, like I spoke about earlier. And so that's what I see in you, because you're so feminine. You're so,
praise
just so
it.
soft spoken. I'm like, oh, she's so cute.
Oh,
Alhamdulillah.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am. What challenges have you faced in dealing with music, and how did you overcome them?
Well, I don't know if you can hear, but my children in the background, the
Oh,
crying
praises to
and
Allah.
the playing and stuff. That has been one of the challenges, which, in comparison to being a man, is something that a man doesn't really have to deal with, is having to actually be the one to rear children. And so I have a duty that is above my passion, or I would say my purpose, in which it makes it harder for me to be able to do it as much as I would like or need to. Um, what was your question? I
That's
feel
okay,
like I got
beloved.
off. I feel
Yes.
like I got off track.
That's okay. No, you on it, sis. What challenges have you faced
Okay.
in dealing with music, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Okay, so yes, having children. And then also just in the beginning, not having the confidence that I would have liked. And it was listening to Belief in Allah by the minister.
Mhm.
And it was watching Kung Fu Panda. Have you ever seen that movie?
I have. Yes, it's a good one.
Kung Fu Panda really gave me that. mm, It was just, the message in that movie is just so deep, and it really
Yes.
helped me. So that's what has helped me to overcome some of the adversity, as weird as it sounds.
No.
But yeah,
Not at all, not at all weird. And the thing about it is, a lot of times these different cartoons and movies, there's so much truth in them that connect with us, where we're able to extract, things that do inspire us. So I can see how Kung Fu Panda would be one of them. I watched that with my children, and we were all inspired.
yes, that movie
So
is so awesome.
yes, absolutely. And of course, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Oh, I can't say enough about the inspiration that I've received just listening to his videos, his talks,
Yes,
even watching him, seeing how he moves, how he lives his life,
yes,
he's an inspiration to us all. So
yeah.
that's beautiful. Yes, ma'am.
The way that he
Uh,
uses his words is top tier.
Absolutely. No, no,
Man,
no doubt. So divine, top tier.
yes, man.
Absolutely. What advice would you give a young girl aspiring to become a hip hop artist?
Be you, and don't be what you think people expect you to be, because
Mm,
then you put yourself in a box. And um, recently, I've been taken out of that box because I'm a hip hop artist, but I'm an artist. So that means that I surpass any genre and anything that I want to do, I can. And so now don't get me wrong, I am a hip hop artist, but I'm plus, hip hop plus. You can do anything. You can combine, you can make your own genre. You can do anything and just be yourself. And don't be afraid to be yourself because that's what draws people to you is you being yourself, you being authentic. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's a lot of artists out here who try to replicate and try to be like, and it's that's not what people really gravitate towards.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
Wow, that's beautiful. What a beautiful response. And that's so absolutely correct because we can only be us. And when we try to be someone else, we're not good at that
Right.
because that person is not us. We can only
Right.
do good with being who we are. And like you said, people gravitate towards that. They want to see realness. We're so tired of seeing so much phoniness
Right.
everywhere.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's refreshing to see artists like yourself, just people like yourself, to
Praise
be
be to
real and to be yourself. And of course, that's why I personally gravitate towards you and your music
God. Praise be
because you're a real one.
to God. Well, thank you. Praise be to
Absolutely.
God.
Yes, let's go to the comments here. Let's see what the audience is saying here. We have Sister Pamela K.
Walaikum
Muhammad.
salam.
Assalamu alaikum, beloved. She says, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum
Walaikum
salam.
salam.
Okay, she put the mics up and the smiley faces. Yes. We have Brother Tobias. Assalamu alaikum, brother. He said,
Walaikum.
Alhamdulillah. That's right. Oh, praises due to Allah. Sister
Yes.
Monique, the rap star. Assalamu alaikum. She tagged
Assalamualaikum
somebody.
sis.
Okay, that's right. Sister Pamela again, she says she agree wholeheartedly, sister. And
Praise be to God.
Sister Pamela, again, she says exactly. So she's vibing, and all of the listening audience out there, I see so many tuned in right now. Thank you all for watching as we continue the show. Okay, dear sister, what changes would you like to see in the hip hop industry to better support female conscious artists?
I honestly don't think that there could ever be a change inside of the industry. Just like we can't
Mm,
change the political system, it has to
mm,
be dismantled. I feel like it's the same way dealing with the music industry because it was built on so much, first of all, usury.
mm,
And it's too much to try to make it right. It would have to completely be dismantled. And this is why I wish I could go back to the old days where you had to network and you didn't have to do like social media didn't exist. You had to go and you had to meet people and stuff. Even though I'm reserved, I would rather do that than do social media. But the one thing about social media and the time that we're in now is that you don't need a record label in order for you to make it. You can be your own record label, which I am my own record label, Zam Zam Enterprise. And you don't have to have that. We can build our own because,
mm,
first of all, it's built on the artist not really receiving. You see all these
mm,
artists and they have cars, they have houses, they have clothes, they might have the women or the men, they might have this and that, but they lack finances. They're
mm,
not getting paid. Everything that they're making is going towards the record labels and the people that own them. So even if somebody was to come in as a conscious artist and they were to make it big, they would still be owned. And at some
mm,
point, more than likely, their message would change because it's the message that those who own the industry want to push. So even though you might come in as a a conscious artist, you might have to bend a little bit. And so I don't think that it's a fit for a conscious artist really,
mm.
unless you're 100% independent.
Yes. Wow, I see what you're saying. And Islam is mathematics. Mathematics is Islam. And like you said, the system needs to be dismantled. You know what I mean? So,
Yes,
and you're
ma'am.
absolutely correct. And I think that with the work that you're doing, it's helping to dismantle that system, because now people
Totally.
are waking up and we're deciding that, okay, we want to see you. You know, we don't want to see Sexy Red. We don't want to see Nicki Minaj. You know, so those who are becoming more consciously aware of who they are, is like we are focusing now more on the conscious artists.
Yes,
And I
ma'am.
love that, because I can see that we are making a change, because the
Right.
change has to come from us.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? So I love what you're saying. That's absolutely right. And you're sharing responsibility. We have to take responsibility for what it is that we want to see, what we want to produce out there. And
Yes.
so that's what it's about, sister. We're gods. You know,
That's
we
right.
have the power to say be and it is.
That's
And
right.
that's what you're doing.
Period.
Period. That's right, beloved. Keep up the
Yes,
good work,
ma'am.
sis.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, how do you stay inspired and avoid creative blocks? Do you ever have writer's block? And what do you do about stuff like that?
I think that that's inevitable.
Hmm.
Um, it's going to happen because sometimes you just life circumstances can cause it, stress, changes, big changes that can happen in your life that can cause it. But I also have realized that sometimes it's not time. And
Hmm.
sometimes you have to go through something in order for you to be able to create, because it could lack substance, but it also lacks feeling.
Hmm.
And so I find that I'm not the type of person who could just write a song. I am very particular about the way that I write. And if I have to take my time, then I take my time. There have been times where I've written a song in a day or two, but I was in it. I felt it. I was vibing with it. I was like, yes, this is it. But there's been times that it took me a year to write a song. And so it really just depends on the song, but it depends on what is being said, what's the vibe of the song, and what Allah wants to be portrayed through the song. I might have to go through something in order to finish it. I might start it, but to finish
Hmm.
it, I have to go through something. So it's inevitable. And I also realize that sometimes when I'm writing, if I do end up getting somewhere sometimes and I get stuck, it's because I have to go back. I have to go back and fix something. I can't move forward until I fix what I've already done, which I guess you can make that an actual life lesson. You can't move forward until you fix what the problem is now. You kind of have to fix it now before you can move on to higher things. But it's inevitable. Can't really get away from it.
Yeah, wow. I mean, I learned so much just in everything that you just said was so
Praise be to
powerful,
Allah.
and how you talked about the life lessons. Like, you can't get to the next level until you master that level that you're on, because even
Yes,
with
ma'am.
trials, we go through things, but if we don't overcome or master that trial, we'll be revisiting that trial until we master it to
Yep.
get to the next level.
Yep.
So yes, absolutely. So that's definitely a life lesson in what you just shared. That's right on time, beloved.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes. And how do you balance your life as a mother, as a wife, and everything else that you do? How do you balance all of that, sis?
It's really hard. Well, it's not that hard. No, it's hard. It's difficult. It's not hard. It's difficult.
Hmm.
Um, because I'm a stay at home mom. My husband he works quite often. So I really can only do things. Well, I have help from like my mom and my sister sometimes. But the only time I can really do things is when they sleep. And
Yeah.
so, but sometimes that cuts into my sleep. And having a newborn, I need my sleep. But sometimes
Yeah.
I have to sacrifice my
Mm-hmm.
sleep and things like that in order to get some stuff done. Because I don't think it's ever something that'll ever be 100% balanced. I feel like sometimes one is focused on more than the other. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you're going to focus more on, this might sound funny, but sometimes you're going to focus more on mothering, being a wife, and other times you might put a little bit more effort into your music, and some other stuff may go to the wayside, and some people may not agree with that. But what I'm going through is not your life, and it's not your calling, it's not your purpose, this is mine. And I'm doing what I feel God wants me to do. So whether somebody agrees with it or not, unfortunately, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. That's right.
But there's you can't really balance like 50-50 like that. Sometimes it's 70-30.
Mm.
Sometimes it's it's not really a balance.
Mm.
And then you have to swap it so that you can have a balance, if
Yes.
that makes sense.
And it does. It makes a
Okay.
lot of sense, beloved.
Praise to
Sometimes
God.
it's not just black and white. Sometimes it's, just like you said, it's not 50-50. Sometimes it's that 70-30, and it
Yes, ma'am.
changes. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
ma'am.
So Islam is mathematics. Is whatever the need is at that time is what you put that energy towards.
Right.
But there's some energy reserved for X, Y, and Z later though.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
love it.
Right.
Yeah, you're so deep in your thinking. You're
Praise
definitely
be
a
to Allah.
thinker. We have to
Praise be
be in
to Allah.
order to
Yes,
even
ma'am.
navigate through life. We have to be thinkers today. You
Yes,
know,
ma'am.
absolutely beautiful, sis. Now, what are some of the upcoming projects you're working on right now?
I am. Um, I have my husband wants me to do a mixtape so bad. In which I was beginning to get into the process to begin writing a mixtape, but then Allah said I have something else playing for you. And so right now I'm in the process of again starting something new, something different, a different type of genre. Actually, I'm creating my own genre. Um, and it is heavy metal.
Wow.
Some of it is heavy metal and trap,
Oh, wow.
but getting into rock,
Mm.
the genre is called heavy mental. So it would
Heavy
be
mental.
conscious, yeah, it would be conscious rock music. Just like the minister said one day, he's going to have to teach them. I feel like I've always felt like it's part of my mission to be a part of that.
Mm.
And because they're not going to make their way into the mosque, this is a way that they could be taught, whether they believe it or not. That's between them and Allah. But Allah even lets his enemies, has to teach his enemies and let them decide whether or not they believe.
Mm.
Um, so my new endeavor is rock. I'll still be making rap. I'll still be, making R&B and stuff like that. But that is a new venture for me that I am going into. And right now I'm actually writing a song. It's not necessarily rock, but it's getting into that darker type music. It's about depression. And I know a lot of people nowadays are depressed. It's a depressing time, but it's kind of like I'm making my segue into it.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, so that is the new venture for me.
Yeah. Wow.
It's very different, but inshallah, I'll be successful.
Absolutely, sis. It's in your spirit to do. I mean, I wasn't looking for that answer, but hey, I'm like, all praises due to Allah. I'm up for it. I'm looking forward
Praise be
to it
to
because I'm
Allah.
like, I've never seen it. So,
And something
yes,
different.
ma'am. That takes a lot of courage, to step out there in that particular type of music genre. Wow. And when did this particular idea spark, or when did it come about?
It was a couple weeks ago,
Mm,
because I've been in a very dark place,
mm.
and I think part of it is postpartum depression.
Okay.
Um, but I've just been in a very dark. Well, I can't say it's just postpartum depression because I feel like I've been spiraling, kind of, in a
Mm,
sense, and it's gotten really bad recently. And but Allah always reminds me that He's here.
that's right.
And so I was just sitting there thinking, and then that thought came up, the rock,
Mm,
and I was like, okay, but why? And Allah said, in order for you to reach to do that, because heavy metal is a very dark, you have to come from a very dark place to do that type of music. Even though I am in this dark spot, it's not in vain because
mm.
I'm taking the inspiration from that and turning it into something for good. Everything of bad is used for Allah's greater purpose.
Come
And
on.
so, even though I'm here, it's to get here. It's for a reason. It's not in vain.
That's right.
And so, yeah. So a couple weeks ago is when it manifested.
Wow, that's powerful, sis. And I
Yes,
pray that Allah, and I believe that He will bless you in that, in order to convey and to share the information that's needed and to teach, as you said, and to turn that negative into a positive. And so I love the dynamics of what you're speaking of, and I'm looking forward to seeing your project, a complete project. I'm
yes,
excited about it.
praise be to Allah. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Let's go to the audience out here and see what they're talking about.
Okay.
Okay, so we have Sister Angelica, ex-Muslim. She says, Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum. Peace
alaikum.
to the queens. Yes, peace,
Peace,
sister.
Queen.
That's right. We have Sister Monique, the rap star. She said, Wa alaikum salam. Sister Trinice says, peace.
Peace.
Peace, sister. Sister Pamela X. She said, Yes, ma'am. Is a beautiful sister, so talented. And
Praise be
yes,
to
she
Allah.
is.
Thank you.
Yes, that's right. And Brother Kashif Muhammad, my brother, he says, Assalamu alaikum. Wa
Wa
alaikum
alaikum
salam, brother.
salam.
Sister Pamela, she returns the greetings. Wa alaikum salam, queen. Sister Trini says, That's dope, sis.
Praise
Yes,
be
you've been
to
talking
Allah.
some dope stuff, sister.
Praise be to Allah.
Brother Tobias, our brother says, teach on that depression through the music, through your music. That's right. And my husband, Brother Don Muhammad, he says crossover. That's right.
What does that mean?
Islam.
Oh,
That's right.
crossover. Okay.
Yes.
Praise be to Allah.
Alhamdulillah. And so we have Vincent Muhammad on watching in. Thank you for tuning in. Brother Tobias says, powerful. I'm loving this.
Praise be
He
to
also
Allah.
says class in session. And yes, it is.
Praise be to Allah.
Oh, praises are due to Allah. So let's continue forward with this great show. I'm certainly enjoying you, beloved, and I see
Yes,
the listening
ma'am.
audience out there. They're also enjoying this show here. And okay, Sister Monique, the rap star, says whatever spirit you are carrying at the moment is what you are supposed to share.
That's
I
right,
agree.
Queen.
That's
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Alhamdulillah. What impact does hip hop have on our youth?
I think it has a huge impact. I think it's almost like a part of our being.
Hmm.
Um, because for some reason it's just we learn a hip hop song before we learn our ABCs, to tie our shoes, to before we potty trained,
Come on,
we
sis.
know the songs.
That's right.
And it's just it's something about it, because it's not just us, it's a genre known all over the world, not
Mm,
just here in America. It's a genre that people all over the world listen to, that people all over the world emulate, that people all over the world try to replicate. And so it's definitely impactful, and I think that it's the most impactful genre that exists.
yes, I agree. I agree 100%, sis.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, absolutely. Now let me ask. Let's see. Okay, this question is about society. In what ways do you believe hip hop influences society?
Oh, in huge ways. Dr. Wesley said that the rappers of today are the gods of today. And we have so much power because we have the minds of the people in our hands. We have the ability to be able to make a change overnight. That's how powerful rap is.
Yes.
Um, music itself, but rap particularly, that's how powerful it is. And so if the mainstream artist would begin to make a change and would make it public,
Hmm.
there would be a change immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, due to some sort of uh, idol worship in a sense, but again, Everything that Allah does, whether it's negative or positive, is for the good of Allah. And so, if they will make a change, there will be a change everywhere overnight.
That's right. I believe that the minister spoke about that as well. I mean,
Mm,
he gave so much emphasis on the power of rap, and how, like, just like you said, that putting the right words in the ears of the people can change things overnight. So there's a
yes,
lot of
ma'am.
responsibility in the type of
Yes.
work that you do and all of the other artists. We do when we bring information, we bring style, we bring, you know, whatever, we bring our creativity to the people. We're either going to uplift them, elevate them, or we're going to be bringing them down mentally. And so,
Right.
like it's like you choose to elevate our people, and that's beautiful. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
If I could just say real quick,
Mhm.
because you hear a lot of people say like we need more doctors, which we do. We need more engineers. We need more scientists. We need more more things other than for sport and play, in which I agree. But don't knock the artists we speak like that, because as sister said, we have a huge job now, not just talking about the artists who are talking about nothing, but the artists who actually are trying to make a change, who are trying to bring substance, trying to usher in a new world, a new thinking. We have a big job. And so, okay, no, we're not we're not um doing what a doctor does, or we're not creating things like an engineer would or anything like that, but we are creating a new mindset which could help to create those types of people who will want to do those types of things. So
Yes.
don't knock the artists. We should be doing something better than music. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that music, medicine, and color is the true religion of Allah. So don't knock it.
That's right. I agree 100%. And that was so profound the way you eloquently, shared that. You made it so clear and so beautiful. Um, what are some of the things or takeaways that you like to give our listening audience? What would you like to share with them?
Um, be yourself.
Hmm.
Um, do whatever it is that Allah has planned for you, and don't get caught up in what might not happen. Because if Allah didn't know that you'd be successful, He wouldn't put it on you. We are gods, and we have the ability to be able to do whatever it is and be successful at whatever it is that our minds conceive. And so if Allah gives you an instruction, you follow that instruction. Because when we don't follow an instruction, we follow mixed instructions.
Come
And
on.
that's not what a soldier does, because we are soldiers for Allah. So do what Allah, or what you feel Allah has put you on this earth to do. Don't be afraid to do it. Walk in it, walk in your truth, walk in your purpose. And also that if you are going through dark times, that you're not alone, and
Mhm.
that to seek Allah in your dark times, because He's always there. Just like there's always light in the darkness, He's always there. Even if it seems like He's not, He is. You just have to reach for Him more.
Wow, that's beautiful, sis. And it made me think about how we're taught that Allah is closer to us than our own jugular vein. So
Yes,
no
ma'am.
matter what we're going through, no matter how dark it is, the God is right there with us and
That's
pulling
right.
us through. That's so beautiful, sis. I'm going to go back to the audience. We have some really good comments here. I don't want to miss out on these right now. Um, Okay, so Sister Trinice says, I can't wait to hear The Rock because I'm definitely into that.
Yeah. Praise be to Allah.
Yes, Brother Gaddafi, liberated, says, Assalamu alaikum,
Wa alaikum
family.
salam.
Wa alaikum salam. Sister Monique, the rap star, says, teach on bringing and creating a new mindset.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
right. Okay, Brother Tobias, he says, my daughters, Autumn 15 and Amber 13, are watching with me, and they asked me to say Assalamu alaikum to everyone, and that covered girls rock.
Praise be to Allah. Wa alaikum salam. Definitely do.
That's right. Walaikum salam, Autumn 15 and Amber 13. See, we have the youth right here tuned in. So glad
Praise
that
be to
y'all are
Allah.
watching, tuning in with us. Sister Pamela, dear sister, says, yes, elevating our people. Humanity is truly serving God. That's right,
Yes,
beloved.
ma'am.
Sister Monique says, yes, just be you. And that's our teachings. Accept your own and be
Be
yourself.
yourself. That's right, sis. That's
That's
right.
she teaching. And Sister Pamela says, say that, sister.
Praise be to Allah.
And then we have Trinice again. She says, who are some of your favorite rock artists? Okay, that's a question for you, beloved.
I don't have any. I don't listen to rock. I really
Yes.
don't.
Mm,
This is something that Allah put on me, that just like rap. I
mhm,
don't listen to rap. I listen to R&B. I love R&B. Um, but it's something that Allah put on me.
mm,
Um, and so unfortunately, I don't have any favorites in rock.
mhm. Well, you're so beautifully unique, sister.
Praise be to
I mean, I
Allah.
can talk with you and we could learn so much and vibe with you all the time.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes. Now tell me, how do we get in contact with you? How do we buy your music?
As of right now, it's just directly through me. I do have to work on my website.
Okay.
But you know, I just recently dropped an album, Garden of Eden. I have
Yes.
hard copies and I also have digital copies. I'm also on all streaming platforms. This is my most recent, and this actually goes into some of my thought process, some of the darkness that I've been dealing with, but also that Allah is always there. So, most definitely cop this. You could just hit me up on Instagram or on Facebook. My @ is right underneath my name. Um, so yeah, or I'm on all streaming platforms.
That's what's up. That's powerful, sis. And I am certainly looking forward to you being on Thursday Night Live next Thursday. So you'll be performing. So
Yes,
y'all
ma'am.
definitely got to tune back in, right
Yes,
here on
ma'am.
Facebook Live for our Thursday Night Live show, because our dear sister will be in the building, inshallah, performing. So you don't want to miss it. And again, that's next Thursday at 7 p.m. Again, I thank you so much, Sister Hecava Mecca, for
Mhm.
joining me on this beautiful evening here at Let's Talk About It with Black Honesty. And I'm looking forward to having you here again for another interview soon, especially after you drop that heavy metal. So I'm
Yes,
looking
ma'am.
forward to that.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, you're very welcome. It's my honor. And thank you all, listening audience, for tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you all, you and your families again soon. May Allah continue to bless you all. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.